Another thought that I have about one's belief in God is I think that a lot of people say that they don't believe in God because they don't believe in a religious God. And so, because they're not religious or they're anti religion, even, it's kind of the baby goes out with the bathwater. They say, I don't believe in God. And really, what's going on there is they just don't ascribe to any religious beliefs. And I think that's very unfortunate because I believe very strongly that every person can benefit from a relationship or a connection with God in their own way, by their own doing, according to their own definition or understanding of it. But I have a very strong belief that we all can benefit from a connection with something greater than ourselves. Again, assuming that the definition consists of something greater than themselves and provides an appreciation for the nature and the complexity of life, because ultimately that's really what this relationship with the divine and the unknown and the all-knowing, or something greater than ourselves, or this infinite energy or source of connection that's beyond us. I think that that's really what it is. This appreciation for that would be the relationship. I think very strongly that we can connect, we can benefit from that connection. So when people say they don't believe in God because religion has rubbed them wrong, or for whatever the reason is, they're not a fan of religion, I think it's very unfortunate, because again, I think it turns them away from something that they could absolutely benefit in their lives. And of course, this is being spoken under the presupposition that you can believe in God and not be religious, which is exactly one of the things that I'm implying today, and what you can see, which is by the notion of what I'm saying and my statement and my definition of my belief in God and my definition of God. They're not in line with any particular religion, but I'm absolutely claiming that I do have a relationship with God. And so if you come from a religious standpoint, this might be blasphemy, and you might not even understand it and say, well, it's impossible, you can't. One goes with the other. And I think it's that way of thinking and that mentality that you have to be religious to believe or have a relationship with God that turns many people away and off from the possibility of even opening up to a connection with something outside of themselves, while not being religious or ascribing to a religious faith or belief system. I think that's very unfortunate. Something else with humans along those same lines, we're very unique in that we want to know everything. We're creatures, we want to know, we want answers to everything, but we also want to believe. We have this driving desire to have answers and get answers to everything. And that's why conspiracy theories exist, because if there's some unknown event that takes place and we can't explain it, no one can offer up any, factual explanation or scientific basis, or even just a factual information to explain it, and we can't get answers. Well, what do? Well, I can't accept that there's no possible answer or there's no conclusion. And, some nitwit comes up and connects X, Y, and Z and says, well, hey, here's a possibility. And it's absurd, it's asinine, but it's better than nothing to a lot of people. So I'd rather know something than not know anything at all. And that's how conspiracy theories get legs, so to speak. Generally speaking, that's what happens there. And so we want to know. We want to know factually, for sure. We want to know something for certain. Tell me something. I can't not know nothing. I can't not know nothing is probably a triple negative, but I cannot accept knowing nothing. That's not an acceptable answer. The unknown is scary and frightening to us as humans. We want to know. But at the same time that we want to know, we also want to believe. We want to have faith. We want to extend our beliefs to something beyond ourselves. We're so sophisticated, cognitively speaking, that we want answers to everything. But at the same time, we have this inherent appeal, once again, to connect to the divine or to the unknown. And we know that, and we can see that because we're always striving to see what the answer should be when we don't have any particular answers, and we look to the unknown and ask for a sign or a reason or something out there. Even if we don't have a belief, we tend to kind of look for guidance in something outside of ourselves. So there's a lot of evidence and there's a lot of instances and support to point to this kind of not instinct, but this drive that we have to connect with the divine or the unknown. The problem is, how do we reconcile those two paradoxical drives, the drive to know everything, but also the drive to believe in that which we don't know? It's very paradoxical. So that's what's very interesting also about humans. And so when I look at religion, particularly as far as an opportunity or a substructure to be able to try and reconcile those two beliefs, one of the easiest ways, in my estimation, for people to deal with their reality, or this dilemma particularly, is by creating an alternative reality with religion, particularly speaking, to distort or rationalize or explain away the human experience of life. So if we have a template or a blueprint or a manuscript or a how-to manual on how to believe and what to believe and why to believe it, then we're less likely to question that which we don't know or understand. And we're more likely to be able to psychologically rationalize away and accept it on some level enough to believe it. So we at that point, we know just enough to feel comfortable having faith in what we don't know. Once again, we feel comfortable enough, just comfortable enough in what we know and what we're told and what we're taught and what we've learned and what we accept and what we see. We're just comfortable enough with that to have enough faith or belief in that which we don't know. And to me, that provides the opportunity to have an acceptable belief in something that's unknown, but that also can't be questioned. So you know enough to feel comfortable believing in that which you don't know, but part of the game there is you can't question that which you don't know. You just have to chalk it up to the unknown and have faith or belief in it because of what you do know or what you have learned or what you do understand. So to me, again, that's an opportunity to really do some thinking and ask yourself, well, am I just comfortable enough with what I know to then just chalk up what I don't know to belief or faith or not question it at all? I think we should always question everything, not from a judgmental or critical or in an attempt to prove or make something be wrong, just in an attempt to find out more truths about it if possible. So questions aren't bad. So when you feel like or you are guided in a direction to where you're not supposed to question things because the explanation for the unknown is in the known, I think you get into dangerous waters there potentially, and you leave a lot of room for a disconnect. And how do we rationalize that? Once again, that's what I'm pointing out here, is that we have a process that we rationalize those differences, and that's how we reconcile that paradox between those two things.